Good morning and welcome to SimWorld today. It's Friday, it's August 15th. I am Marsh. I am joined this Friday by Yells with his sippy cup and his sunglasses. Good morning, Yells. How are you?
I'm good. I've seen some merch orders go through for SimWorld. It excites me. Rep your city, rep your world, SimWorld, baby.
Well, he's repping his world. That is for sure. We're repping college, or excuse me, we're repping SWBA yet again. And specifically wanted to talk about. I did a whole show yesterday on the top 10 draft board that came out, and kind of analyzing those. But I'm curious, Yells, looking at this group, um, who who's not currently in the top 10 that you think should be in the top 10?
I'll frame it first by saying I love the early top 10 and draft discussions, but I hate them at the same time. So much is going to change, and that's what you asked. What's going to change? I'll tell you three names jump off the board for me. That is going to be Lorenzo Phenom. I know people love to hate him, they hate to love him. There's no in between on that statement. The kid's 6'11", 230 of being able to score in the post. He's able to score from the perimeter. He's got nice touch. Yeah, that sometimes some nights that fadeaway is not falling. He's an adequate to serviceable rebounder. He's an interior player. More so, he's a modern day big. He is the quintessential modern day big with that type of size and that type of perimeter play. Lorenzo Phenom is one. Number two, I'm going Damian Luffy. I heard a guy, I call him the spicy one because he tried to play me on my comment on SimWorld today the other day. The spicy one brought this guy up on the spicy one. I mean one Rick Blaze. Damian Luffy is he's set up to have a major year. I mean, he played behind Caden Shipp last year. He did not. I know a lot of people say he did not look great last season, but he didn't have to be the guy. He's a freshman. He was a young guy, and he had Caden Shipp there. Was able to make up for all his mistakes. He plays from the mid post. He can score. He's very strong for his size. He apparently grew a couple of inches, maybe put on a little weight, but he's an explosive scorer. Not gonna give you anything defensively. That's not what he's there for. And we know the SWBA loves offense. And then number three, I'm gonna skip right over Suno Choppa. I hope you make it in there, young man. But I'm gonna go one below there, and I'm gonna say Che King. I'm a big Che King fan. Excuse me, Che King fan. Went to the G League, came back. He was one of the first people inaugural in that whole rule to come back for college. But the kid, 6'3", 190, he shows flashes of Allen Iverson. Not saying he's Allen Iverson, but he does. He does. He gets the shot he wants, and that's what.
Well, the Shea King to Allen Iverson comp is an aggressive one. I would say that that is a very aggressive one. To me, it's Damian Luffy. To me, it's Damian Luffy as the guy that stands out as somebody um, who I think jumps up into that. Um, yes, we could talk about whatever he did last season. I just think his profile is one of somebody that's way too good to not be included or to be capable of jumping up. 6'9", 215, very athletic. He fits the bill of all these other sophomores who are now draft eligible. He's got an inside aggressive game. I think he's got the capability to stretch it out a little bit. I think one of the comps that was made of Arthur Lattimore was that he's Aaron Gordon. I don't think Lattimore's the athlete to be Aaron Gordon, but I think Damian Luffy is. He is very vertical. If he can establish himself with a little bit of interior defense, I think he's a guy that could probably be a small ball five, depending on the team that he's with. So to
He's got to
me,
put a little weight on. That'll happen at the pro level though. He's got to put
yeah, I
some weight
mean,
on.
215 and 19, I'm not gonna get bent out of shape about. I would say if he'll get to 230, right, or 225, and even 220, like in the right system, you put on some muscle. Like you don't have to be weight wise super big to be impactful. So to me, that's the guy that stands out as a person that I think has the best chance. I'm not saying that he's guaranteed to go up into the top 10. I think the current top 10 is, and I said this yesterday, seven through the rest of the first round is kind of open for everyone. But I think that Damian Luffy is a guy that could make that jump. What do you think about a guy like Cam Jones, sophomore? He's currently projected by many to be a mid to late first round pick. Do you think he's a guy that can get into the top 10?
Look, no, I don't see it. I'm a big fan. I think he can shoot the lights out. He's not in a system that really just facilitates him getting off and going crazy. A la Trey Turner, or even let's say him later, not him, but I forget his name. I'm sorry. With Creighton that just went crazy. Or was that Ethan Letterman?
Mark
Yeah,
Chisholm.
some of the more elite shooters that we saw in similar seasons. I don't think he gets that opportunity, but more so, as I'm hearing, the private gyms around the country are opening soon. Kids are going to be able to get in there and get more workouts in. He's got to work on it. I see the ability to put the ball on the floor and go get him shot. Even Trey Turner, who's known as a catch and guy, he put the ball on the floor, creates a bunch. You can see more Cam Jones. I see him at that level.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that like Gerald Carroll couldn't do was put the ball on the ground, right? He couldn't really create himself. But what differentiated Carroll is that he was like a 50% 3-point shooter at times. He was, excuse me, a stout as well, and he had size. And so Cam Jones, who's coming in build at 6'3", 6'4", you can't create yourself. That really does limit what you because you're not big enough to be off ball, right? You're not big enough to be a number two because in today's league, number twos are not typically 6'3", 6'4". They're 6'6", 6'7". And so that's kind of your first knock on him. And then the second is I think he just has to be a better defender. Right? He has to be a guy that's more like Joe Carroll is a defender. When you're looking at the
He's a
SWBA,
top tier. He was a very
he's
good
very,
defender.
very good. So give it 2 to 3 seasons, and Gerald Carroll is a guy that, and maybe even year one, like Jimmy Butler was making all defense marks by I think it's his third season in the league. I don't think that that's unrealistic of Gerald Carroll to get to being all SWB a defense. Like D'Angelo Dyson got there. Who am I thinking of with the what think of his name? Dyson with the Hawks blank.
Yeah.
He's already what?
No. I'm agreeing with you.
He's already and he's I think in year 2 or 3. So you've got there's a lot of wings that can get there because if a wing just commits himself to being a great defender, good athlete, good strength, long guy, I think that's what Cam Jones needs to work on. You said you skipped over Suno Chapo. Why?
I love the game. I love the size. And here, we don't talk about this a lot. And I'm start to go in and talking about this in the collegiate. Can I do that? Can I
Sure.
do that? So great size. He facilitate. His jump out of the right comes as kids get older and refine their game. Defensively, not terrible. We saw him play before with effort, and that's what you want to see is effort on the defensive end. You can mold other things into it. For me personally, and I talked about Damian, not Damian Luffy, when I talked about Cam Jones, Porter Moser. I don't think he know how to fully utilize Suno Chopper yet. He ran him at the four, maybe just based off of the roster last season. But he might not utilize in the system this season where he's at on the court and what role he's playing. And I think that's really what it boils down to. All the talent is there, but system matters in college basketball.
He's I think we see a lot of guys at the college level that don't put gaudy numbers, but are
Mm-hmm.
still well loved by SWBA scouts because there's recognition, like you said, that when you're playing in college, the force type, they're not. I mean, it's physically smaller. There's more guys on the floor that can't shoot. There's less respect for shooters, so it clogs out the paint. And it makes it so that guys that are really good creators in basketball, they don't have really a ton of opportunity and space to create with the basketball because you've got people in the way, physically in the way, stopping you from being able to do anything with the ball. And so for Sunocha, I think that's a big trap. I wouldn't be surprised if Sunocha puts up mediocre numbers. If the Oklahoma City Thunder, if the OU are on middle of the road, Big 12 Carroll, and not still top 10. That would surprise me because what is Sunochapa? Sunochapa is a athletic guy who's in at what's his height here? 6'6",
6'5", yeah.
210. He fits perfectly in at that mold we're talking about. Can definitely play the two. Can play the three. Can create. Can get past his first defender. Right. I'm not talking about can finish around. I'm saying he can beat his guy bounce in a reliable jump shot. Those all profile as top 10 guys because you have a team that's going to mean a long runway for him to get better, and he's got physical and form attributes to be a really good player. That's what you care about in the SWBA. I don't care if he averages 15 points on 43% shooting. I don't care if he averages 11 points on 50% shooting. If he hits those profiles, somebody in the SWBA is going to be like, I think that guy can be our fifth best guy. I think he can be our third best guy. Maybe we think he can be in the very perfect conditions to become our best guy. I think that's Suno Chapa.
Look, I'm done talking to Chapo because I got to see if he's I got to see if the coach allows him. See the numbers you're talking about. If I can step outside the top 10 real quick, I'm gonna mention a couple of climbers. I won't dig deep on them. Keep your eyes on these players, the way coach utilize them, and the way that an SWB player, for the very reasons you just mentioned, Mark Chisholm, now playing at a notable school, 3-and-D. If that 3-point game is at least serviceable, I think you're gonna spot. Keandre Ball, absolutely. Keandre Baldridge, playing under Coach Dre Pope. A little bit we know about the prep coach is that he loved to play through bigs. He has one of the most notable high school recruits in the country that he brought in. He has a propensity to work through big men. Keandre Baldridge, I'm watching him. And then lastly, Villanova. Villanova, I can say Aaron Lovejoy, but I will skip that. No Nat Hawkins and ULV. Could Jarrell Beauchamp go absolutely ballistic in the Mountain West? Probably.
I mean, that was the thing with Joe Bochamp last season? Why everybody was so high on UNLV was because you had Matt Hawkins, who was doing well, but Joe Bochamp was like the star, right? Like the SimWorld Hoops gets this guy from, I think he's from Vegas, right? Gets this guy from Vegas, and it's a massive miss by prep schools and prep teams in the states. He has to go to Australia to get found. And what does he do? Balls out. And last season, what did he do? Not a lot of things. I think a little bit of that is going to be from 6'1". Now, I said this plenty of times. I always look at things from the SWBA lens and not so much from a college lens, which makes me a little bit more critical of guys. When really we should just be enjoying the game. But Joe Bochamp just didn't get the runway to be able to enjoy the game. He
He's got
he
the
didn't get
keys.
the,
He's got the keys.
he has the now. He has the keys now, and then I'm so excited for that. One last name I always mention, and it's not a matter of things I'm thinking about just to say it's just the story. I mean, this got 2 seasons ago. We ever got the first round pick, and now you got at the end of the season. He got hurt last year, did not play well. He had the injury early on, and then now he's kind of okay. We don't know. So to me, that's where I'm interested in. Not good or bad. I'm just interested to see what his game looks like this season if his draft stock kind of moves around because he too's kind of great second. Really good defender right now. It's his floor. Really great defender. Can he offensively get better? That makes him more of an Avery Bradley type of guy who's a great defender but also score a bit.
I'm there with you. DJ Chai injury. That's what injuries knock you
It's
down a bit. So.
it's weird that an ankle injury would make him a terrible shooter, which free throw shooter specifically, which still blows my mind. But that is just the fascination of it. I am blessed by how this is. All right.